Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. You know, I appreciate greatness in any field, and being in the media, I can appreciate it when a tough situation is really handled with fine craftsmanship. Watch the craftsmanship of Robert Gibbs from the White House, expertly navigating a rare and difficult question from the White House press corps.
The president directed Justice to look at the Arizona law because he doesn't want a patchwork of state and local laws. But right now, there are dozens of so-called sanctuary cities that have their own policies that might potentially conflict with federal law, something that's led Governor Brewer to say that if Arizona is in violation of federal law, then so are these localities. So my question is, why did the president only ask DOJ to look at Arizona and not everywhere?
Let me see if I can get, I don't know the answer to that, but I will try to seek some answer on that.
Uh-oh. Well done, Robert, really. And that is a great question. Congratulations from somebody in the press corps actually asking a difficult question of these people. Here's another one that the press hasn't picked up on yet. Here's the president's justification for suing Arizona.
I think the Arizona law has the potential of being applied in a discriminatory fashion. I think a fair reading of the language of the statute indicates that it gives the possibility of individuals who are deemed suspicious of being illegal immigrants from being harassed or arrested.
I remember the sad, sad tale that he talked about. You're going to be discriminated against. You're going to be picked up from just driving being Hispanic or taking your kids to the ice cream parlor and you're Hispanic and they'll bust you for that. I remember the stories he told. Now, will someone in the press corps ask this question to the president? Because he doesn't take my calls, nor does he ever call me. Why does this lawsuit not mention a single word about discrimination? That's weird, because it seems like the president is willing to make the case to you, but the lawyers are not willing to make that case to a judge. Will the press bother to follow up on all of it? No, not while Lindsay Lohan is in the news. Judging by all the stories they are not covering and the ones they are, I ain't holding my breath. We'll show you why they're missing these stories. Not just what they're missing, but why they're missing it. Next, come on. Oh, the question comes up over and over again, at least in my head. How does 20% of this nation control the rest of it? Well, you ignore it. You deflect it. You redirect it. Mock it. That's what you do. You don't address it. That's the last thing you do, is don't address it. The liberal media and the Obama administration's way to deal with fundamental transformation on an unwilling American population is you don't answer them. You just take this 20% and you plow through. Polls from the Gallup now show that just 20% of this nation consider themselves liberal. 20%. 42% are conservative or very conservative. How is it almost half of this country is conservative or very conservative? Twice the amount of liberals and 36% moderate. And yet these are the ones transforming our nation with the help of the press. Only 38% of independents now show that they still support Obama. 38%. The vast majority of our country is center-right. But this is controlling us. 38% of independents for Obama want Obamacare to be repealed. I'm sorry, 60% want Obamacare to be repealed. Only 38% of independents are now for Obama. 60%. They don't want it to be broadened. They don't want it to be more socialist. They don't want it to be fixed. Dare I say, they don't want it to be transformed. They want it repealed. Repealed. NBC poll, NBC Wall Street Journal. Now 64% are for the Arizona law. 64% of this country. They're not making the case, America, that it's discriminatory. They're not, because they can't. I've read the bill. It's nothing but a quoting of the federal statutes. That's what it is. Enforce the law we already have. Where are the news people? Because if you listen to the news people, they're just writing down anything that spills out of the faces of those in the White House. You'd think Americans were frothing at the mouth and in rabid lockstep on all of the issues, but it's not true. So how is it done? Well, first, the media has to ignore the stories that don't fit their template. That is a large population of the American people. For instance, the New York Times, when we did Van Jones, they didn't even know about it. If you read the New York Times, that's where you got your news. All of a sudden, Van Jones was kicked out of the White House for a scandal that you had never read about. Virtually no one but Fox covered the comments made by NASA chief Charles Bolden. Okay, what did this guy say? Well, he wasn't talking about, you know, well, I'm gonna go ahead and build a new space shuttle. No, he's not going to do that. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to develop a mission to Mars. No. Instead, he said this is NASA's mission.
He wanted me to expand our international relationships, and third and perhaps foremost, he wanted me to find a way to reach out to the Muslim world and engage much more with dominantly Muslim nations to help them feel good about their historic contribution to science and engineering, science, math, and engineering.
Wow, that's an interesting story. Never mind the stupidity of the world's premier space program being tasked with a Dr. Phil or Mother Teresa outreach mission. Never mind the condescending overtones. Who's a special little religious nation? You are. Yes, you've accomplished an awful lot in the past. What is that? Talking down to Muslim world? I think they got a handle on their history. Where's that story anywhere on the network other than Fox? Can you imagine that happening with any other administration and nobody covering it? And when I say nobody, here's who didn't cover that story. What a surprise. The New York Times, the Washington Post, NBC Nightly News, ABC World News, CBS Evening News. Nah, they're just going to let the real stories happen over here, you know, in the crazy cable world. And on that internet that they're trying to make sure they get a control on. Now, next story. After months of slandering the Palins, you remember this? Oh, they're bad parents. All they did was provide sleaze ammunition to the mainstream media. Slimed the family for weeks. The guy who provided that information? This guy. Levi Johnston. Well, now he's just told the People magazine that he lied. He lied. He lied about the Palins. He claimed Sarah Palin complained about her job as governor. She was a poor parent. There was a lot of, I'm quoting, there was a lot of talk of divorce in that house. Really? Well, now, unless you watch this network or talk radio, you don't know that those claims are untrue. Why? Not worth covering? Okay, here's the next one. The Panthers, you know, they want to kill crackers. The Department of Justice successfully prosecutes 2 Black Panther Party members for intimidating people at polls. The bizarrely ending case is that it's just dropped. Right before sentencing, the DOJ prosecutor in the case then resigns and claims the dismissal was racially and politically motivated. No. On top of that, another video surfaces, one of these Black Panthers saying this: I hate white people. I want to kill all of them. I hate them.
I hate it.
I hate crackers.
Because we're still in this condition, man. We didn't come out here to play today. There's too much serious business going on in the black community.
Here comes my favorite part.
To be out here sliding through South Street with white, dirty, cracker whore on our arm. You want freedom? You're going to have to kill some crackers. You're going to have to kill some of their babies. Let us get our act together.
Now, what do you say? What do you say? We want to kill some of their babies if we want freedom. We have to kill some crackers. Well, that seems to lend credence to the conviction, but no one covers it. Oh, I know Jon Stewart's there going, oh, no, there was somebody that covered it. Let me ask you this. Why did the state-run Russian TV put the Panther chairman Malik Shabazz on to smear Fox for daring to cover this story? Watch this. This is last night.
Fox Fox News attacking the Black Panthers. All day, Fox News had updates on a case of alleged voter intimidation that took place during the 2008 presidential election. It involved members of the new Black Panther Party who allegedly intimidated voters who looked like they wouldn't vote for now President Obama. So why is Fox obsessed with a 2-year-old story? Joining me to help discuss this is Dr. Malik Sahloul-Shabazz, chairman of the new Black Panther Party. Thanks so much for joining me. So I don't know if you actually got a chance to see some of Fox's coverage. Did you have any initial reactions? I know it's probably beating a dead horse here. You guys have been talking about this Philadelphia voter intimidation story for, it seems like, years now. It has been years. Were you surprised that it popped up back again and it was kind of an update every single hour?